Let's raise the big questions. Can the opposition really forge a credible front? Is the leadership the big question mark over the opposition? Will regional parties work with the Congress? Is Nitish Kumar now fancying himself as a potential PM face? Is anti-Modiism the only glue that binds the opposition? I'm joined by Pawan Kumar Verma, former MP, Rajya Sabha. He was with the JDU and Nitish at the time. Abhishek Jha is JDU spokesperson. Clyde Crasto is NCP spokesperson. Riju Datta is TMC spokesperson. And Syed Nasir Hussain is senior Congress MP. Appreciate all of you joining us. And I'm going to come to each of you for quick remarks at the very outset on this seemingly incipient opposition coalition being formed. Syed Nasir Hussain, you were there when Nitish Kumar met Mallikarjun Kharge. You worked very closely with Mr. Kharge. Is the Congress serious about getting together all the regional parties? And who will give space to whom? Because in many of the cases, the Congress is in opposition to some of these regional parties like KCR's BRS. So are you really going to take the lead in forging this opposition front at all?
Rajdeep, you very well know that past few parliament session has seen larger unity among opposition parties on different issues. And especially in these issues, earlier there used to be 14, 15, 16 parties attending opposition parties meet under the leadership of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge ji. But then this session saw parties numbering up to 19, 20 attending the meetings. There were joint issues, there were common issues raised, there were joint protests, there were joint meetings, and the way the issues were taken up, it was all clear on all your television channels and everything is there in public domain. Now the whole idea is, how do we take all these issues to the people? How do we have protested enough in the parliament? We have spoken about spoken about these issues enough in the parliament, raised it very well and articulated it very well in the parliament. But then how do we take this to the public? That is a challenge. And I think when the floor leaders of opposition parties met in different meetings during the session, they also said that now, once the parliament session is over, this has to be taken to the level of the party leaders. Now, floor leaders unity was their party leaders. I think this was a preliminary meeting with our allies in Bihar. JDU and RJD were present. Congress, JDU, RJD met today, and we discussed basic issues. And then what will be the vision, and how do we arrive at common minimum program,
very quickly, are you
action,
going to go? Today you were discussing this with people with whom you are already in alliance with in Bihar. But are you going to take this across the country to parties you are not in alliance with, but who may be part of a broad opposition front? I mentioned KCR's party in Telangana. It could include, will it include a Mamata Banerjee, for example, in Bengal? She says that you have been trying to defeat her there. So I want to get it very clear. Is the Congress now going to finally take the lead in reaching out to all these parties?
Rajeev, there's little disturbance while you are talking. Please ask someone to fix it up. I understood what you wanted to know. See, UPA is already intact and there are more parties in UPA kitty. There are parties who left the NDA, number one. Number two, there are parties, those are not in UPA and those are anti-BJP, anti-union government that is there. And there are parties which are not either with UPA or with NDA. So now the idea is to reach out to more number of parties who can come with the idea of saving constitution, saving the country, fighting the attacks against democracy, and so on and so forth, which we have raised in the public domain. So, but who will speak to whom? Who can be invited? Who cannot be invited? Who can come with us? Who cannot come with us? These are the things which in a preliminary meeting we have discussed, and I think now we have already spoken to many of the parties who are there in UPA and those who are not there in UPA also. And once this meeting starts, there will be a meeting where these nitty-gritties of what you are speaking here, who will fight whom in West Bengal, what will be the alliance, what will be the nitty-gritty of the alliance in Telangana, in Bihar, this will be discussed in the meeting of the leaders as and when we have in the days to come.
Interesting. Okay, interesting that you're saying that you're ready to discuss the nitty-gritty state after state, who will fight whom, with your sole objective in a way it appears to be, how do you take on the BJP? But Riju Datta, let's get the TMC perspective, because you're not at the moment part of the UPA or the NDA. Are you willing, is your leadership willing to talk to the Congress, for example, to come together on a joint front, and where does that leave the left? At the moment, the Congress is in alliance with the left. Are you ready for a grand alliance tomorrow that would include the left in Bengal?
Rajdeep, let me be very clear that the upcoming 24 general elections will be fought on the issues of the people like inflation, unemployment, rather than on religion and caste. And the opposition is united on the issues of the people of India. That is very clear. Now, in Bengal, the Congress is in a very unholy nexus with the CPM, and they have under the table taken the help of the BJP to defeat the Trinamool Congress. If they sort their house, I don't think Trinamool Congress has a problem in talking to them. But at this moment in time, I don't know what will happen or what Mamta Didi will take a decision on. But at this moment, we will go alone and we will take BJP head on, because they are a disgrace to this Indian constitution. They are trampling the democracy. They are abusing the federal structure on a daily basis. They have politicized the central agencies against us, and so we are going to take BJP head on, immaterial who is with us or who is not with us. But for the bigger picture, to dethrone the BJP, if Congress gets their house in order, then I think we are open for discussion.
But what you're making it very clear, with the Congress, without the Congress, as of now, you're not ruling out the possibility of being Ekla Chalo Re there in Bengal to take on the BJP. NCP, Clyde Crasto, Sharad Pawar, over the last few days, has made comments that have suggested that he wants to distance himself from the issues that the Congress is raising. For example, a JPC into Adani, the Savarkar issue. Let's get it clear. NCP needs the Congress in Maharashtra, Congress needs the NCP. So are you, and I'm putting out this meter, the index of opposition unity meter, are you hot, lukewarm or cold towards this opposition unity?
Well, we are absolutely together. Rajiv, you have to understand one thing. What Mr. Sharad Pawar tried to explain, there was technicality. What he said that the JPC that we are talking about is a committee will have a majority of the people from the BJP. So there is a possibility that the verdict or the final result will go on against the opposition. So that's the technicality which he explained. He's gone ahead to say that if my friends in the opposition that we are together and they want the JPC, I'm okay with it. He's absolutely okay with it. But he also said that the Supreme Court, the decision that the Supreme Court takes will have some kind of bearing in this whole process. So he went on with the technicalities. There's absolutely no problem. The whole Mahagathbandhan that you're talking about, the MVA government in Maharashtra that was there earlier has continued forward ahead, and we are together. So there's absolutely no problem. Mr. Sharad Pawar has always...
So you're saying that Mr. Pawar is very much part... Mr. Pawar is very much part of these efforts to forge an opposition front, but it's easier said than done, Pawan Verma.
Can I finish what
because there are
saying?
serious...
I was trying to say something.
No, very quickly.
What I was trying
very
to say
quickly,
that,
sir.
No, when you're talking to me, let me finish, please. So what Mr. Sharad Pawar ji has always been saying, that he is always of the opinion that all like-minded parties, people who think alike, should come together and form an alliance and a strong opposition. In a democracy, the role of an opposition is to, show the mirror to the ones in the government. And right now is the right time to show the BJP the mirror, because everything that is going on in the country is not right.
Okay, like-minded parties, Pawan Verma is the word being used. Are these really like-minded parties? I mean, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, for example, are they like-minded on all issues? The BRS of KCR and the Congress, are they like-minded? How are you going to what is the like-mindedness apart from a visceral hatred for Narendra Modi, whom these parties want to get out at all costs? That's the one issue that seems to unite them, or dare I say, the fear of the Enforcement Directorate.
Thank you, Rajdeep. Rajdeep, ever since I resigned from the Foreign Service and joined politics, it's been almost 9 years since I've worked with the opposition. And I think it's time to do some plain speaking. I am in politics but now not a member of any political party. First of all, there is no purpose served in arithmetical unity of leaders congregating on a stage periodically and reiterating their opposition or hostility to Mr. Narendra Modi or the BJP. It serves no purpose. What is required is organic opposition unity, which translates to the following. And it's too late, 9 years have gone by and we haven't seen progress, so I frankly am not optimistic. You need a pan-Indian vision, a narrative, or at least by now a common minimum program that binds all major opposition parties. We don't have it. You need a coordination cell which is able on a networked basis to bring opposition parties together to ensure that one joint opposition candidate, irrespective of differences in different states, is put up against their common opponent, which is the BJP. You don't have it. You need to trim egos of leaders who believe as yet that each of them has the potential and the right to be the leader. Fourthly, I think every opposition party in one sense is playing the role, not intentionally, but to be a BJP ally. My good friend Syed Nasir Hussain is here. Let me tell you, KCR is fighting the BJP in Telangana. Congress is fighting KCR. Mamata Banerjee is fighting the BJP in West Bengal. Congress is fighting Mamata Banerjee. AAP is fighting the BJP in Delhi. Congress is fighting the AAP. I can give multiple examples to go on to say that unless the opposition swells the coffee, that they have to go beyond anti-Modism and come out with a narrative and vision of their own, which actually resonates with the people. These periodical meetings and occasional parleys mean nothing. And let me finally
you're
say,
virtually calling, you're virtually calling the Congress, but the question is, you seem to be calling for the Congress to cede space. The Congress tomorrow will say, why should we cede space to AAP, which is out to destroy us? Even in Karnataka, the Aam Aadmi Party is now contesting over 200 seats. Where is the trust? You see, it's not just about coordination, it's about having some minimum trust. Where is the common minimum trust between these parties?
That is the whole point. And the point really is that every political party, if it considers the fight against what Mr. Modi or the BJP stands for worth fighting, then they must understand that each of them has to take a back seat in a state where another party of the opposition is stronger. The Congress was perhaps the party which was strongest in the past. It is still the only party with a pan-Indian footprint, but it is organizationally exceptionally weak and has shrunk. But the Congress will not understand that at this stage, the tactical necessity is to make alliances stronger rather than to prove its primacy. And that often happens in other political parties too. And all of this especially is true. And I'll just end in 20 seconds. Because you are taking on a very formidable organization called the BJP. I'll just finish. What do they have? You may or may not agree with him. A strong and popular leader, a narrative, an organizational cadre, and a fairly well-developed and effective program of direct benefit transfers and welfareism, which has touched the common man. As against this, you have legitimate discontents on unemployment, price inflation, curtailing of democratic rights, draconian laws. Where is your narrative?
Rajdeep,
Okay, where is your narrative? Before I come to where is your narrative, which is important, where is your lead? Just a minute,
Give
sir.
me a minute.
No, just a minute. Where is your leadership? Abhishek Jha, today. No, just a minute, sir. Abhishek Jha, you came, today Nitish Kumar comes to Delhi, meets all these leaders. There seems to be no attempt beyond just projecting individuals. Nitish Kumar in an ideal world wants to, some believe, be projected as the leader of this opposition alliance to take on Mr. Modi. He's from the Hindi heartland and that gives him some advantage. But KCR also believes the same. Mamata Banerjee will believe the same. Who knows? Every leader believes that he or she should lead this alliance. Mallikarjun, Kharge, Rahul Gandhi would want to lead it. So I want to understand, how is this alliance actually going to be forged? Having a meeting for 15-20 minutes or 1 hour is not going to create an alliance based on trust.
Rajdeep, I do not know about the belief of other politicians or the topmost leaders of the other parties. But Nitish Kumar ji has made it clear many a times when the media personals have asked him the question that whether he has some aspirations of becoming the Prime Minister candidate from the united opposition. He has always told that he has no personal grievances regarding that. He is just concerned with the fact that the leaders of opposition or all the parties who are in opposition should be united together, should be on a single platform, should make it possible that the upcoming general elections should be fought on the issues of the common man, the issues relating with inflation, issues relating with unemployment. And when Nitish Kumar ji is meeting Rahul Gandhi ji or Kharge ji, what is the reason behind the agitation of BJP leaders? Everyone is just asking questions that Nitish Kumar ji is trying to meet the leaders of opposition. He is making his steps forward in order to unite all opposition parties. If BJP is very much confident about their strength, if BJP is very much confident about the face of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, then what is the reason behind their agitation? Nitish Kumar ji has...
No, it's not about, it's not about the, 1 minute, Abhishek Jha. Abhishek Jha, the fact is, what I'm trying to understand and taking up from what Pawan Verma says, what is it that is bringing this opposition together? Syed Nasir Hussain, what is bringing this opposition together?
Can you give me a minute, please, Rajdeep, here?
No, Mr. Crasto, you must wait your turn. Syed Nasir Hussain...
You carried from there and
Mr. Crasto, you must wait your turn, please. Syed Nasir Hussain, what is it that is bringing this opposition together? I want to understand. What is that issue which is going to bring this opposition together apart from the fear, some say, of another 5 years of Mr. Modi? What is it? What is the common minimum program? You haven't even told us what is that basic common minimum program at the moment. And there is only 10 months to go before the election of 2024, the campaign starts.
Rajiv, why are you in a hurry? Why are you in a hurry? Let BJP speak whatever they want to say. Let them say whatever.
I'm in no hurry, but there are only 10 months left for the election.
Let's just hold on. It's all right. It's all right. Hold on. See, let the BJP speak, say whatever they want to say. See, we have raised issues in the parliament. We have raised issues of inflation, of poverty, of unemployment, of security of the country, of the falling rupee, of the state of economy, of misuse of central agencies, attacks on democracy, attack on the right to speak, right to expression. Everything is being expanded. People are being disqualified there. So there are so many issues that are there which needs to be articulated. It has been articulated in the parliament. Now the point is, we have just met today. Today was the first preliminary meeting between three parties. Nitish ji had come to Delhi along with Tejashwi ji. We have just met. The ground rules will be laid. The rules will be set. Framework will be there. And then after meeting the people, after meeting the leaders of different political parties, they will sit and they will have their alternate vision for the country, the issues that have to be raised, the issues that have to be taken to the public.
So you're saying picture
that all will be articulated.
Okay.
You cannot, no, just 1 second. You cannot decide everything in 1 hour's meeting. The willingness
I
to
agree
come
with you
together,
that you cannot
apart from
decide
the
in
UPA
every...
partners, the willingness to come
Sir,
together
but we are,
and
sir,
to
but this
reach
has been
out,
going
and
on.
to
Sir,
reach out to different
sir,
political parties
okay,
is what
sir,
we
this has
decided
been
today.
going on. Okay, this has been going on for months on end, that we will come together, we are working on this. Clyde Castro, now you want to make a point, go ahead. What is the point you want to make?
I've been trying to make a point, but Rajiv, you have to allow people to speak. You know, the point here is very simple. Now, you mentioned earlier, you said it's about the opposition and Mr. Modi, or it's about the fear of being the, central agencies. It's not just about the opposition and Mr. Modi. Or if the people, the opposition was so afraid of the central agencies, we would have not been speaking. We are speaking. We are showing the mirror to the BJP. Because the work that they're doing is not right. The point is very simple, that when we say like-minded people have to come together, means there is a thought process in there. Like Mr. Nasir Hussain just said, that there are other issues. There are issues like unemployment, farmers' issues, inflation, price rise. These are the common thoughts that we have, and we are coming together on that platform, and that's what we need to work about.
Who will lead this? Who will lead this platform?
Well, we are coming
Mr.
together.
Castro, who will lead this platform?
Rajdeep,
who will lead the platform?
No, Rajdeep, you're always in a hurry. You wait and listen. When everybody comes together, they are working together. It's not about, one person leading the charge in the BJP and say, my way or the highway. It doesn't work like that. We are in a democracy. We are in a democracy. Everybody's opinion counts. Every party equally talks about it, and we work unified. That's how it works. And, you keep saying one meeting doesn't help. Well, meetings have been held. You are talking only about the meeting today. There have been several meetings held. Meetings will be held in the future also. And we will come together on the issues that concern people. Issues that concern people are very important.
You've said, sir, you made your point. You're saying you'll come together on issues that concern people, but Riju Datta, the BJP says this is a Thug Bandhan. They are the ones who are saying that all of you are actually coming together out of fear that the next ED action could be against you. Now, is this alliance, therefore, which is coming together of compulsion and not in a way of conviction? This is an alliance because all of you are desperate in some ways to hold on to your turf. You yourself on this program have said, we will fight the BJP in Bengal. The question is, are you all willing to fight together, or are you all simply unwilling to cede space to the other parties?
I have heard everybody patiently, and I've heard Mr. Verma in details, and what he said actually makes sense, but I think Trinamool Congress believes there is another option, and the third option is that the Prime Minister candidate can be chosen at a later date on a joint consensus. The Prime Minister candidate is not important right now, but we also believe that every regional party, whether it is the BRS, whether it is Mr. Stalin's party, whether it is Tejashwi, whether it is Mamata Banerjee, if we fight our battles, our individual battles, if we hold our ground and we defeat BJP, then we have enough and more numbers to defeat the BJP. We do not need a formal alliance to show Mr. Modi that we are together to take you on. I believe if we fight our own individual battles from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, then BJP will lose the 2024 general election based on the Vidhan Sabha results. Why do we have to always think in those terms? And lastly, Rajdeep, when you have made a very strong allegation that the united front of the opposition is coming together scared of ED. Let me tell you, the ED is only working against the opposition. Change is the only constant in nature, and when the party, the union government will change, to find the BJP spokesperson, you have to send your cameraman to Bihar. So we are waiting for that time. There is no investigation on them. That is why they think they are clean. They are not.
But the fact, Pavan Verma, is that there is an elephant in the room, i.e. the Congress, i.e. Rahul Gandhi. Because the Congress today, even today, is in direct fights with the BJP in about 200 plus seats in the country. And unless the Congress revives itself, any talk of this opposition unity may not really work, because you need a magnet. Do you believe at some stage that's going to be the critical question in the next 9 months, whether the Congress can get its act together? The regional parties perhaps can take on the BJP in their states, but the Congress has to get its act together for any opposition front to emerge.
Just 2 or 3 points quickly. First, to answer your first question. The BJP's primary catchment area are the 200 seats in which it is in direct confrontation with the Congress party. And the BJP's strike rate against the current Congress party is 96%. Secondly, each of those regional leaders, for whom I have great respect, may be strong in their own bastions. But when you are looking at a parliamentary election where you have on the one hand a basket of disparate political parties against one that has twice given an absolute majority and has all the ingredients of an electoral battle, a leader, narrative, organization. What choice is the voter going to make? And when some of my esteemed panelists say, what's the hurry? You have 10 months left to the election. And Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary of the Congress still has words of near abuse for Mamata Banerjee. KCR has floated unilaterally his own front. Arvind Kejriwal says he will not ally with anybody. So does Mamata Banerjee. And they are talking about a common narrative on the real grievances of the people, on unemployment, inflation and other very serious matters, while parleys of occasional meetings are going on. I mean, are we serious? I think it's time to smell the coffee for the opposition, but there is no one to make the coffee.
Okay, that's a good note on which to end. It's time to smell the coffee for the opposition, but there's no one out there who's going to make this coffee is the big question. Yes, Mr. Castro, who's going to make the coffee? Sharad Pawar? Who's going to make the coffee?
I think you make the coffee and have it and give a little to Mr. Pawar, because I'd like to say one thing very clear. What is the role of the opposition? The role of the opposition is to get together and show the mirror to the incumbent government. That's what we are doing. It's not about, what are they going to do? The effort is on. This is going to go on. It's not about making coffee. Okay? It's a serious issue. And there are serious issues in this country.
No, the question is, okay, let's leave it there. The fact is that the opposition is running out of time. The opposition is running out of time. There is 1 year to go for the general elections. And the opposition a year is a long time in politics. We'll wait and see what happens in the next few months, but time is running out. I appreciate my guests joining me though on our big talking point tonight.